In this video, I'm going to share with you how to revive a dead Etsy shop, or if it's even worth saving. Now, in most cases, you could be sitting on a gold mine if you've already been selling on Etsy, even if it was from 5 years ago. Actually, today's video was inspired by a recent audit that I did for one of our private students. I'm going to take you behind the scenes of this Etsy shop audit, and I'm going to give you the 7-step checklist that I gave her. And I will say, I spotted a huge opportunity just from going through this process, and you're going to be able to go through this same process. You're going to follow this same checklist. And if this opportunity is spotted there for you after you go through this checklist, well, then all you need to do is follow it. So let me just give you a quick little backstory so you understand where this shop is and where it came from. The shop was started just over 5 years ago as a side hustle, and it was worked on and off over the course of those 5 years. Now, it's built up some sales. It's got over 4,000 sales, and it's got some really solid reviews, but it stopped getting regular sales. Now, quick little timeout here. If you're watching this and you're like, well, I don't have a shop that's 5 years old. I have one that's just a year old or 6 months old. Is this still going to help me? And the answer is yes. These 7 steps that I'm going to take you through can be applied to a brand new business if you're starting one from scratch, but it's also going to be used for one that we want to revive. So yes, it's for you too. Now, just a quick observation that I think everyone should be aware of. After looking at so many Etsy shops and doing these audits, I have found 2 common problems. So the number one common problem why an Etsy shop was doing well and then it stopped doing well is because, well, they were chasing trends. And they probably landed on a product maybe even a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, and that product has done very well, but the trend has dwindled, or more competition came in on that trend, and now you have way more people to compete with. So that's number one, just chasing trends. Stop doing that. So the question to you is, are you chasing trends? That could be why your sales are dwindling. And the second reason that I see shops failing is because, well, they're not focusing on one niche. What we want to do is build out our product lines that can serve that same customer. Once we do that, we open up so much more opportunity. So this way here, we have more products that can serve that same customer that's coming into our shop. More on that in a minute. And now the shop audit that I just recently did, the one that I'm going to share with you, those 7 steps, well, she fell into camp number 2, where she was just going after way too many niches, which leads me into step number 1 in this checklist. The very first thing that I did with her, and I do with anyone that I do a shop audit with, is we are going to look and see what has already sold. And whatever has sold, we're going to see what has sold the most. And we're going to try to find some outliers. And we're also going to see if there's a niche being established. And in this case, there was. She had 3 products out of probably about 100 that were doing all of the heavy lifting. They were doing all of the sales. So taking that information and saying, okay, can we create more products that can serve that niche? And that leads us into step 2. And in this step, it's all about product research. So now what we need to do is look at the 3 designs that have sold. And now we can ask ourselves this question: can we launch more products with that same design? So that's one thing that we can do. The other thing that we want to do is start doing product research now that we have that niche identified. Now, I've done a lot of product research videos on this channel. I'll go ahead and link them up in the description. But this is really, really important because now that we have a clear vision, we have a niche identified, now all we need to do is think about how many more products can we create that one customer could buy. And then when we do that, we create more products that can attract more people in that niche. And when someone comes into our shop, guess what? They can buy more things, not just that one trending t-shirt. So moving on to step number 3, which builds off of step number 1, which is now can we create new designs? Taking what has already sold, building off of those, and create something new. And when we're able to do this on a consistent basis, we also now create a wider footprint and we can really dominate that niche. So do you see how all this is working together so far? So step number 2, we did some product research so we can see what's selling out there in that niche. And then we took that information, we brought it over into step 3, and now we can start thinking about designs that we could potentially create. Step number 4 is rebrand. Now that we have a niche identified, we want to create the storefront that matches it. And this would consist of a new banner, which is basically like your storefront if you had a brick and mortar store. And next would be the logo, which again, we want that to match the theme of our shop. And then from there, we want to put something in our announcement that lets people know they're in the right place. And we also want to update our about section. Rebranding is so important and you can do it at any time. And in some cases, we even want to change the name. Yeah, I know it's scary, but sometimes you have to. If it's a very generic name like Robin's Cute Designs, we need to change that because even though that might have worked for you 5 years ago, we need to freshen it up and we need to also let people know that when they come to our shop, when they come to our listings, they're going to see our name and they're going to know that they're in the right place. All right, step number 5 is when we're going to take what we did in step 3, and that is create designs. We're going to take those and we're going to leverage different products. We're going to put them on as many products as we can that people would want to buy. So in this case, yes, it might go on a t-shirt, but would that same design go on a sweatshirt? Would it go on a mug? Would it go on a pillow? Would it go on a blanket? Would it go on a framed print? You have to start thinking along the lines of what else could people want this for, not just a t-shirt. And actually, I told her to take the 3 designs that we're already selling and do that exact same process first because, well, the designs were already created. Take those and leverage them on multiple products. All right, step number 6 is grand opening day. And what I mean by that is we need traffic. And just like any brick and mortar store out there, they usually pay for advertising to get people in the door. So how can we do that? Well, my advice to her was run Etsy ads and spend $5 a day. And what this will do is it will give you traffic and it will allow you to get people to come into your shop. It will get people to recognize your products. And from there, you can start to get sales through the door, which is also going to help you get indexed and get seen inside of the Etsy algorithm. Now, the one mistake that I see people making when it comes to running Etsy ads is they want to wait until they start to get sales. But we need to do that in reverse. We need to get sales so this way here, Etsy will start to see us as products that are selling, and then they will start to put us up in the rankings. You need to switch your mindset on that because we need to get sales in the door in order to kickstart everything and to really kick off this new rebrand. And step number 7 is really creating more products on a regular basis. Etsy likes activity inside of your account. They like to see new products being released. They like to see interaction happening within your shop, whether that's you putting up new products, whether that's you communicating with a customer or a potential customer. They want activity. And the best way to get activity is to launch more products. This will also give you more Etsy real estate. So every product listing that you put up there, you have another chance for someone to find you and be driven back to your shop. And the other cool thing that's going to happen now is you have more products that are tailored towards that one customer that comes in your shop. And so what can happen now is that one customer might buy 3 things or 4 things or 5 things. And that's going to increase your order value because now you can get more sales from that same customer. And who doesn't want that? Now, in order to launch more products, you have to create more designs. And that's a huge sticking point for a lot of people. And that's why I created a video right here that you can watch next that shows you how to use AI to create unique designs that you can use for your print-on-demand products. Watch that one next, and I'll see you there.